At the time when the natives seemed to be most content, their good disposition toward us was seriously upset by an outrage committed by one of the soldiers upon one of the head chiefs of the village, and what was worse, by committing a sin against God our Lord. As the Gentile chief naturally thought of taking vengeance for the outrage committed against himself and his wife, he gathered together all his neighbors from the nearby villages, and inviting all of the warriors to arm themselves, he led them down to the place in the field where two of the soldiers of the mission were pasturing and taking care of the horses, one of them being the evildoer. As soon as these soldiers saw the armed band approaching, they put on their leather jackets as a defense against the arrows and prepared themselves for battle, as there was no way by which they could advise the captain of the guard, who, by the way, was ignorant of the deed committed by the soldier. The Gentiles had no sooner come within bowshot when they began to let fly their arrows, aiming all of them against the offending soldier. The latter immediately aimed his gun at the Indian who seemed to him to be the boldest, presuming that he was the chief and discharging his piece, killed him on the spot. As soon as the others saw the deadly force of this new weapon, whose effect they had never before experienced, and when they also saw that their arrows did no harm, they turned and fled, leaving the unhappy captain dead upon the ground. From this deed, the Indians became very much frightened. A few days after the above incident, the captain arrived with the fathers, bringing the equipment for the mission of San Buenaventura. But fearing that the Indians might make some attempt to avenge the death of their chief, he decided to increase the guard of the San Gabriel mission up to the number of 16 soldiers. For this reason, and because of the distrust he had for the rest of them in view of so many desertions, it became necessary to suspend the establishment of the mission of San Buenaventura until the success of this one of San Gabriel could be assured, so that the two friars assigned to the former mission remained here with their equipment until further orders were received. The commander then went on with his remaining soldiers to Monterey, taking with him the soldier who had killed the Indian in order that he might not serve as a means of provocation to the rest. But it should be said that his unworthy conduct had been kept hidden both from the captain and from the fathers up to this time. So we see that 4 missionaries remained in charge of the station of San Gabriel, but as the 2 formerly assigned to the work here were taken sick, they had to retire shortly after to Old California, and the 2 assigned to San Buenaventura remained in charge, and continued with all possible kindness and tact to attract to the mission the pagans who, little by little, came to forget the deed of the soldier and the death of their chief, and to bring in some of their children to be baptized. One of the first of these children was the son of the unfortunate chieftain, whom the widow gladly gave to the fathers for this purpose, and her example was followed by many others, so that the number of Christians began to increase. 2 years after the founding of the mission, on the occasion of my visit to it, they had baptized 73, and at the time of the death of our venerable father the number was 1,019 neophytes.